Hello everyone, this is Nitin here. So in this video I'm going to talk about a very interesting topic which a lot of people are asking me to create. So this video is all about how to paint watercolor from the basics. Yeah, that's right. It's always fun to start from from the beginning. Anything, learning something which start from the beginning, right? So in this video I'll be talking about where to start, how to start, what is your strategy, and how you can plan your growth, your learning, watercolor. Let's start. So I have to, so these are the brushes I've been painting from a long time. A lot of people are asking me about what is these brushes. So the beginning starts from here, right? Under what sort of paper you're using, what sort of brush and the color, so all of those things, what you're actually using, right? So the answer is don't worry about any art material. You can learn even a very inferior quality of the paper. So currently what I've been using here is it's made in my local, it's a locally made handmade paper. It's a watercolor paper which has a very good amount of grains, and these brush, this is basically meant for the calligraphy. It's a calligraphy brush, Asian calligraphy brush. You can just search and you will get a lot of brushes like this you can buy online. Alright, when you start learning watercolor from the basic, the very first thing I would I would suggest you is that you should have a plan. Okay, so you should have my week plan. Okay, and you should have within this week plan, so you have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay, what you're going to do here is in your weekly plan, Sunday you should have one subject. Choose one subject. So subject, so your subject could be anything, whether you wanted to paint let's say here a landscape which have something like this, a mountain or whatever you want. Okay, and this should be your drawing or sketch. Okay, so Sunday you make this the same the subject at least 4 out of 5 times. All right, then you come to the Monday. You have done your very first exercise here on making a lot of drawing on the sketches on Sunday 5 times. Okay, the same sketch. Now you bring this learning on Monday. So Monday, what you're going to do here is, so whatever the drawings you made, you just make the same thing and do a little bit of coloring with the watercolor. The very basic implementation of applying the color, the application of the color here, make that, then 2 times and then 3 times and 4 times. So on Monday you will be making this the same subject. Your subject should be 1. Okay, and you make the 2 times and 3 times and 4 times and 5 times. So every day you make the same subject 5 times. Okay, so the mountain, you have given the very basic color, then you just mix with some other color, then you just try to bring some other a different color, just using the 2-3 color, mixing all of those, and just see that and how those things are, how those learnings are happening. Tuesday, the same thing, the same subject, you just add some more object here, some more now you can add here one house or some more landscaping, all of those. This in same one, in the same design, in the same the painting. And you will see that your paintings are actually evolving from Sunday to Monday to Tuesday, and you are actually applying the color, the same thing, whatever that you have learned, try to improve those in a Tuesday. Then you go to Wednesday, then Thursday and Friday. Saturday you will have the bigger picture of the same subject, okay, with more and more the ability. Whatever the learning happens, you just bring all of them here, okay, with those mixing the different color, the primary, secondary, or triternary, all of those color you have just made it with the visual composition and all of those. So all of those learning, okay, it goes all the way like this and ends with the Saturday you just see your painting, whatever you did, and just compare what you did from Sunday, and just compare with the Sunday and Saturday. What is the learning happen? Okay, but for doing this you need to be very consistent here. Make a small, don't make a pretty large paintings. Even a smaller this size, this is the A4 size paper, okay. You can take that any I won't suggest you to go for a very high quality watercolor paper. Even a normal, which is not very much expensive, you can buy that, or you can also get more thicker watercolor paper, or a normal paper, but it should be a little thicker so it should not blot, okay. So this kind of exercise you need to do it. Now I'll tell you now how to do this, okay. What I'm doing is I'm just making this 4 part. So what I'm making here is, this is my plan. So I want to make a week plan, okay. So you can have a 3/4 sheet like this, and you can divide it like this in a 4 different the space, where you can make your progress as per probably on Sunday I will make something like this, and this is my subject. I have one subject, and there's a mountain, and there is a couple of boats here, and maybe few fishermen here standing nearby, and this is the seashore, okay. So this is my drawing, okay. I need to make this drawing at least 4-5 times, okay. Sunday, then Monday, what I'll do is I will take the same one, okay, and I'll make the same subject, okay, like this. There are fishermen, okay. Now what I'll do is I will make a little light and depth into it, okay. So now here there is a far mountain, and we have this fisherman here, and a boat, okay, and maybe this source of the light, okay. All right, so this is kind of a sketch I'll be making. Make at least 5 times, okay, on Monday. Now, when you're going for next level, Tuesday, try explore some color. Okay, the same subject here. Boat and few fishermen. And there is a she. So this is the kind of the drawing you have to do. I would suggest you to just take a very simple color, maybe you know, not mixing with any other color. So I've just taken this ultramarine blue, and I just applied it here, and just below this I've just taken good amount of water, and I've applied it here. Okay, so I'm not mixing any other color. It's just about the color and how much the water I'm just supplying. So there will be the gradient which you can see like this. Just put it gently. Now we have a mountain here. So what I'm going to do here is I will take this ultramarine blue, and I will take mixing with sap green. So just add a little bit of depth there, and this is the kind of the learning you should be getting while while you are doing in the sketching or the drawing. So apply those learning. So I'm using this yellow ochre for the ground. So keep it very simple, very plain color. Do not mix with 2-3 color. Like you can just mix 2 color, not more than that. So this is what you'll have to do, at least 5 times you have to do. Very simple, straight, the applying the color. And once this gets dry, you can go for the second layer. But before that, let it dry completely. So currently I'm just doing this second layer. Just play around the depth, how we can bring the depth and the light, and that's the kind of a motive you should have when you're learning watercolor. So you do a lot of practice similar like this. So in this painting we have a mountain which is slightly far. So we are using a very light color, so that means we are using a lot of water and less color, so that gives a kind of perspective, the sense that the subject is slightly far from your eyes. And this boat, so I'm applying very flat color, the black. So such kind of exercise gives you more understanding the temperament of the color, and once you'll make a 2 3 4 time such attempt, you will start learning how the color and the paper behaves when it interacts each other. So that's really important, for you to paint again and again and see that reaction. So this is the another boat. And little seeds. And some of the fishermen there, we just need to make them a little obvious. So give them some cloth and the more for your audience to recognize that there is some human standing nearby the. So there might be, in a one time it will not be okay, but when you try to multiple time, it will be really good. So this is what we will be getting. So now when you go for the next day, so this is kind of like you take an example of when you are doing on a Saturday, so you'll have so much of learning, right? Because you have done continuous multiple time, you have painted the same subject. So during these each of the each of your exercise, you'll be getting a lot of knowledge about how you are dealing with color, how you're dealing with the subject composition and everything. Okay, so after a certain time, the end of the week, you will see that the things are getting improved. Now your ability to choose the color is different. If you'll just compare your Sunday exercise and the Saturday exercise next week, it will be different. Okay, it has to be, because there is a tremendous amount of learning has already gone. Okay, so now here, can you see here, you'll be making a painting which has a more matured way to pick the color. Okay, so here I'm just using a lot of color, for the sky, and a lot of water and a little bit of color into it. And that's the kind of a bleeding happens between the the color and the water. So you'll start understanding what's how much the water should be there on your brush, how much color you need to pick, which color you need to pick. So you'll be start learning all of those. Okay, and it should come to you by itself. Okay, because you have spent so much of time doing the same thing. Okay, so like now you'll start using how you can utilize the depth on your painting. Okay, now in this case I'm using, I'm using 2 3 color, mixing 2 3 color each other and bringing the harmony between these color. Okay, making the composition, making sure that the harmony of the color doesn't go away. Okay, so such kind of work it gives you lots and lots of energy and lots of ability. And trust me, I mean, you don't need to learn anything, it happens by itself. Okay, you'll start your brush automatically will go and pick the color, okay, whichever you feel should be, makes your painting good. Your creative mind start functioning in a different way. Please understand that. And this happens only when you are doing a lot of work in everyday practice. So make a plan, okay? And here is your uh, your changes, your ability to paint, your ability to understand watercolor. It's a different. Okay, so in this case, I'm with the far object, I'm using wet on weight kind of technique. Okay, so keep doing this, keep doing a lot of them. See the example here, I'm painting this boat here. Now the painting boat in this painting will be slightly different. I will let the color bleed and mix and communicate, and it has own way to bring the pleasure to the viewer. The color, the watercolor has that, the ability. So make a lot of them and enjoy the process. That's the very important thing. Enjoy every bit of the process and never get frustrated that okay, things are not working, things are not happening. So when you'll start painting on like on even seventh day of your exercise, your week plan, you can start exploring, in the various other, other object on your painting. You wanted to bring in those object. Now we are doing the second layer. So the way you select the color will be completely different. The handling the color will be completely different. Okay, you can feel that. Okay, the confidence will develop by itself. So I'm just mixing ultramarine blue and burnt sienna to bring the little depthness on the painting. The depth is so important. It's just so beautiful. The dark, the depth is so beautiful. Okay? Just try to understand that. There's a palm tree. So this such kind of object, such kind of the elements you want to bring in. You really you'll feel like and there will be urge to get this thing done. You wanted to bring your creative mind will ask you, why don't you bring this subject, why don't you bring this element into your painting, why don't you compose this painting this way. I know I'm talking too much here but I just can't hold myself because this is very important. I really want you to get this medium in a correct way. I feel really bad when people say like I cannot do this watercolor because I just can't do this. And that is something, it really hurts when people move away from this beautiful medium. and never get satisfied. On 7th day, you should always look for some bit of inspiration. What is that what is that extra thing which I can bring in the painting, and that makes me happy, that's improve my work. Just ask yourself. So that mountain, what I understand is that a lot of people, they don't they're really scared to do any experiment, which is sad. Okay, you should be ready to do experiment. You should be ready to take a risk. No problem if you're painting, so what will happen? Your painting will get spoiled, but what? Nothing. It's not like you have lost everything. When you start losing your painting, then only the confidence builds. Okay, so try to do that. Try to do that. Yes, make a lot of them, a lot of sketches, a lot of work, and make sure that your plan has to go in that way. Never get lazy that I don't want to make paint today, I will do it tomorrow. No, if you're passionate about watercolor, then you have to do it. Okay, now let's do this. People there, just put some color there, though it's very abstract. Typically when this you have to do it in the end of the painting, when your all colors get dry, especially in the third layer. But that's okay, even if you're doing the second layer. That's the kind of learning you'll have to see how things behaves, how things works. And now let's come to the seeds. The shadow of the boats, the source of the light. And so I just wanted to bring a very important news, is that I have recently launched a new category tag in my Patreon page, where you can access my very exclusive watercolor tutorials, where you can learn from, you can explore, and there are a lot many other rewards are involved in those tags. So moreover, what is really interesting thing is that I will be creating a very interesting the watercolor tutorial with the proper introduction and all of that, and I'll be uploading those tutorial in my Patreon page. And if you become the part of my tier categories patrons, then you will have a chance to access all of that. So please visit my Patreon page and check all of those categories.